Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, we're going to be doing the market stats for the week ending Monday, February 10th, and for the month of January 2020. Let's get started. Today, we have 63 days on market. We have 2.79 months supply. Our absorption rate is at 35.88%. Average list price is up to 627, average sale price at 368,000, and our list price to sale price retention is right on the money at 97.73%. Taking a look at inventory, inventory is as low as it's been in quite some time, down another 1.7%. We're down to under 12,000 units at 11,630 active. Pending is sitting at 5,783. That's up 10%, which is good news. More buyers are in the marketplace. And our closed units for the month are a little too early to try and speculate on what's going to happen. But the good news is we're already 10% ahead of last year, same period. Taking a look at new listings taken, we took 2,123 new listings this past week. That was up 11%. And our average days on market for active listings is sitting at 144. Looking at closed inventory, our closed days on market is at 63. Basically, the difference is because when you look at closed inventory, 63 days, product was the right. It was probably under $500,000 as an average, a large percentage of them. And as a result, the reflection shows a significant difference between 143 average days on market and closed inventory at 63. Taking a look at the price ranges, just under 67% of the entire inventory were homes priced under $500,000. Homes between $500,000 and $1 million represent about 21% of the entire inventory, and homes over $1 million represent about 12.3% of the inventory. Taking a look at our spreadsheet where we do our week over week analysis and our month over month analysis, it gives us an opportunity to see exactly how these numbers change and manipulate week over week. But there's a new number that we're showing today, and that is our single family detached non-distressed property. And the reasoning for that is we look and we see we have 11,630 units in inventory, but only 9,410 of them are actually single family detached properties. So the remainders would be townhouses, condos, manufactured homes, things of that nature, things that really aren't what the average person who's looking to purchase a home is looking for. More than likely, they're looking for the single family detached. And as a result, I wanted to enlighten us and show us that. So 9,400 represents about 80% of the market. So 80% of the market are actually single family detached homes. Taking a look at the pending and under contract backup offers, we're sitting at 5,783 average properties in escrow at any one point in time over the last week. And that's up 8.5%. 5,332 is where we were just prior to that. Looking at closed inventory, closed, as we said earlier, it's a little too early in the month, only it being the 10th of the month, to really extrapolate some type of significant difference or change delta between last year and this year. However, the good news is we are about 10% ahead so far. So it's just kicking off the month. We were strong last month at about 20% ahead of the market, and we're already showing signs of being ahead of the market for the month of February. I'm taking a look at the month's supply, 2.79 months supply at this particular moment versus 1.84 last week. This is good. We want this to be about 3 months supply. So that 50% increase really helped out. It just basically showed us that last week we had an anomalous events that took place, that realistically we sold more houses and we didn't replace them. So as a result, the numbers were exacerbated a little bit there. Taking a look at the average list price is up to 627. It's been holding as high as 640,000. So 627 is a good number. It still indicates that we're not putting extra pressure on sale prices because the inventory is low. Will this continue? Stay tuned. We'll be happy to show you if it should and tell you how we can help you if you're a buyer or a seller or a realtor. Certainly we'll be happy to provide you with some additional information should that occur. Looking at the average days on market for sold, we want to see this about 70 days. It's been as low as 50 days in the past, but right now we're sitting at about 63. This is also good news because although we have limited inventory, maybe people are realizing they don't want to sell right now now, or they don't want to buy right now. So although we do have good increasing numbers for pending, in this particular situation, we're just seeing the average continue to increase a little bit. We're at 63 days on market right now. Our sale price to, or list price to sale price retention reflects the difference between the list price at the time the offer was accepted and the sale price on that contract. So what it's basically a 97.73, which is what we were for this past week, is representing that the seller is giving up about 2.2% on a standard discount between the list price and the sale price. This does not have anything to do with the concessions, the buyer concessions or seller concessions that are made inside of the terms and conditions of the contract. So let's focus and take a look right now at January for 2020. It finished with 14,497 properties on average. That's versus 20,000 properties the year before in inventory. And so what this basically means is we've had approximately a 28% drop in inventory year over year. We also were averaging 11,000 units being added to inventory last year. And this year, so far, year to date, we're only averaging about 9,742 per month, down about 11%. Inventory is shrinking and we're not replacing it fast enough is what that basically means. Taking a look at pending, we finished the month at averaging 6,323 units per pending, and that's in comparison to 7,600 units average in 2019, about a 17% drop from that perspective. Looking at closed inventory, we finished the month of January with 6,461 units. This is 18% higher than January of 2019, which only reported 5,471 sales. So that significantly increased. And of course, in December, we finished off December with 7,700 units, as we've discussed previously, and that was up 20%. So you're really seeing since December, we've seen pretty much a 20% increase in sales closed, properties closed. And as a result, that shows a significant movement in the marketplace. Looking at the month supply, we were at 3.86 months supply in January, which was a high number, 4.33 the year before. So we dropped about 11%. What basically the month supply is saying is how quickly is the inventory being utilized? And of course, if you're not replacing it and those numbers are 50% or better, your inventory is shrinking significantly. And that's usually when we start to see excessive pressures being put on list prices. Sellers decide, hey, it's a seller's market. Let me continue to increase my price and see what the market will bear. So to that point, the average list price as property being put into the MLS is $638,223, but the average sale price, and again, these aren't the same properties being sold for significantly less. This is just the average sales price in the MLS. Only brought $365,264. So $365,000 as it represents to $327,000 a year ago, same period. It's about an 11% increase. And that's pretty much, I think, what most of the economists have indicated, that the properties just were increased just over 10%. Of course, this is not appreciation. This is the difference in just sales prices. Appreciations rose somewhere between 4.5% and 5.8%, depending upon the market that you're in. Looking at the average days on market for active, again, we were averaging about 150 to 155 days. That's been pretty normal, which is commensurate with last year. And of course, our list price to sale price retention for the month of January, we've been talking about 97.8%, that 2% being pretty stereotypical in the marketplace. It was just a little short of that at 97.5%. But again, a year ago, as you can see, it was only 96.5. So the sellers were giving up 4 points a year ago. Now they're only giving up 2.5 to 3 points. So the significance between those numbers is basically still indicating that the market's strong. It's a great time to list your house if you're a seller. My recommendation would be work with your realtor and go out and find a house at the same time. Don't be monotask oriented. Don't go out looking just to sell your home and then go, oh, okay, now I'll go look. You really need to make sure you can find the house you're willing to move to before you put your house on the market. So, and then of course, if you do try to negotiate that, sometimes the sellers don't want to take an offer with a contingent sale that you have to dispose of a property. So that could be some indicators, some obstacles that you may face at this time with the market, with the numbers that we're reporting. So I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. There's many ways that you can get us. Hear our flash briefings with Alexa. You can hear us on Instagram television, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and of course on YouTube if you'd like to see the entire spreadsheet analysis along with it. If you have any numbers that you'd like to see that are not reported, feel free to contact me. You can reach me at Todd Menard at westusa.com. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.